Hey there YouTube, it's Nick
and Katie
with Feeding Fitness. Today we're doing a video together because the topic is one that affects both of us. This comes up a lot on MyFitnessPal. People will ask me this, and I've seen it in comments on some of the videos about how working night shift affects your lifestyle. How to work night shift and still achieve and meet your fitness goals. And we're going to go ahead and talk about this. Both Katie and I are registered nurses. We work 12-hour shifts, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., and we work 3 of them a week. So our schedules are basically as crazy as it comes. We're going to talk a little bit about how we deal with the nights we have to work. Now, first of all, we don't do things the same way, but I am going to talk about a few things that don't matter, period, however you want to approach working night shift. The first thing is that calories in versus calories out do not change. That fact remains the same. Doesn't matter if you eat your calories at noon, at midnight, at 4 a.m. It's calories in versus calories out for the day. Meet your macronutrient goals. It doesn't matter when. We have a different way of defining our cutoff point or when our day ends, and we'll explain about that in a second. Well, actually, we'll just talk about it now. For me, I typically have eaten all my food for the day by around midnight. And it'll change because working where we do, your break time isn't fixed. It's going to be when you have time to have a break. But more often than not, I'm done eating by midnight. So after that, my day is over. If I eat anything after midnight, I'm counting it for the next day. That's my time. Katie does it a little differently.
Well, and I think you have to point out too, once you're done at midnight, you're not eating again until tomorrow, that next day after you wake up.
That's correct.
So he's got a very, very strict cutoff. I, on the other hand, normally night shift lunchtime is about 1:30. I have a little bit of what I've planned for lunch at lunchtime at 1:30. I'm done for the day. Anything I eat after that, sometimes I get a little hungry late in the morning at 6 o'clock. If I have a little snack, that counts towards the next day. So I make that kind of like a set in stone thing. It's fine to eat or not eat later in my shift, but I always account for that towards the next day's eating.
Okay, so basically what we're saying is you can pick any time you want to be your cutoff time for the day. You can make it when you go to sleep in the morning. Anything you eat before that counts for the previous day. Anything after that is the next day. The bottom line is it really doesn't matter. It does help to avoid confusion to just keep a consistent time. For me it's midnight, for her it's closer to 1:30. I'm not going to eat until after I wake up. She's going to have like a breakfast before she goes to bed. It doesn't matter. Just have your cutoff point in mind so you know which day to log your calories for. So that is the easiest way to handle it. Don't get caught up in thinking, oh, it's 12:01, so I didn't get enough calories in for the previous day, and now I'm going to go over for my next day. Just pick a reasonable time when you most likely are going to get your time to eat, and just make that your cutoff point. It doesn't matter when it is, fortunately, though. So the next thing we want to talk about is how you're going to approach your workouts. Now, this is going to be much more on a person-to-person basis. For me personally, I cannot work out after a 12-hour shift. I'm too tired. It is a poor workout. Anytime I've ever attempted it, it has been a poor workout. So for me, working out after a shift is a bad idea.
I, on the other hand, I hit the car when I leave the building, I get re-energized. I can actually do a 12-mile run after my shift, go home, sleep like a baby, and be fine to wake up for the next round. It just depends on what works best for you. We found that together, we prefer to go home, go to bed, wake up, start our new day with the workout.
And it's going to come down to a person-to-person basis, so pick what's best for you. The one thing that is kind of hard, some people can't work out at all around their shift. They feel too tired to work out after a shift, and then they don't have time or they don't like to work out or to wake up early enough to work out and then go back to work. This is going to limit the type of program you can do. If that's you, you need to be on kind of like a 3-day-a-week total body program where you're only working out 3 days a week. For me, that's not the best option all the time. So some days, I have to go to bed at 8 a.m., wake up at 1:30 p.m., tough it out, go work out, and go right back to work. That's not ideal. but I've got to do that or else I'm not going to be able to do a 4 or 5 day a week program. So if you're the type of person who can't work out at all around your shift, you're going to have to pick a workout program that allows for that. But sometimes too, you just have to accept that you're never going to have an optimal, perfect, I feel great workout every time you hit the gym, and nobody is, even if your sleep schedule is normal. That's never going to happen.
And it is worth saying too, I mean, initially, yeah, you wake up, you haven't got enough sleep, you feel like crap. Once you actually get in there and start moving and doing your workout, you feel better than you think you will. So once, it's just like anything else, if you can get in the routine of that, it's not as difficult as it seems that first couple times you try.
This is very true. Sometimes the hardest part about it is actually walking through the door, and once you've done that, you're good to go. So those are just a couple of tips on how we handle night shift. If you work a more consistent 5 day a week night shift schedule, where you're not switching like we do, and you're working like 5/8 every night, I think for you, the best approach is to just kind of change your clock around. You should probably stay on that night shift schedule all week if you can, and just consider your early 8 hours your sleeping time, and so you actually don't change much of how a normal person would eat and work out. You just push everything 8 hours forward, so your schedule is just a little bit different. Your 8 a.m. is 3 p.m. if that makes any sense. I'm sure people who work 5/8 at night understand what I'm saying. So, but that's really it. The biggest thing, night shift is not an excuse to be fat, to not work out, to do any of it. It just isn't, and that's I guess the biggest thing I want to put forth. If you're saying I gained weight because I'm on nights, no, you gained weight because you ate too much while on nights.
You use night shift as an excuse, so there's a difference.
Basically, it's what we're saying. So don't let night shift be an excuse. It's no different. Calories in versus calories out. Hit your macros for the day. Get your ass to the gym. And that's really it. If you have any specific questions about working swing shift, drop them down below. We'll be happy to answer them. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check us out at Facebook, at facebook.com/feedingfitness. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.